We all think we know the story of Sleeping Beauty, right? The princess, the curse, the 100-year nap. But what if she wasn't just a victim of some magical destiny? What if she had a choice? Today, we're diving into a version of this classic tale that turns everything on its head. The beauty who chose to sleep.
So, right out of the gate, this story makes a pretty bold promise. It's telling us to forget everything we thought we knew and get ready for something completely different. And you know what? Let's take that invitation. Let's find out what makes this telling of the story so special.
So, picture this. The scene opens with an image we all recognize. There's a beautiful young woman, she's 18, and she's standing in front of a spinning wheel. Her hand is reaching out, getting closer and closer to that sharp, fateful spindle. But wait, there's someone else in the room. A tall, elegant fairy is there, whispering in her ear, almost urging her to just go ahead and do it.
And that is the big question, isn't it? What is she going to do? Because in this story, her fate isn't a done deal. It's a choice that she has to make, right here, right now. But to really get how she ended up in this moment, we've got to go back, way back, to the day she was born.
All right, so let's rewind. Our story really kicks off, like so many great tales do, with the birth of a princess. Her parents, King Marco and Queen Maria, welcome their baby daughter Bonita into the world, and they absolutely adore her.
To celebrate, the king and queen decide to throw the biggest, most over-the-top party the kingdom has ever seen. Seriously, everyone who's anyone is invited. We're talking fairies, unicorns, even giants and dwarves. But in all the planning and excitement, they make one single, really terrible mistake.
They don't invite Mala. And who's Mala? Oh, just the incredibly powerful ruler of the Fae. So why leave her off the guest list? Well, Mala has a reputation. She demands perfect manners at all times and has a temper that is, let's just say, legendary. The king and queen figured it was just easier not to risk it on their daughter's big day.
But, news travels fast, especially in a magical kingdom. Right in the middle of the party, a hush just falls over the entire crowd. Everyone stops talking, stops dancing, and all eyes turn to the castle gates. And there she is, a tall figure in glowing white robes. It's Mala.
Malara walks right up to the baby's cradle. She says she's there to give a gift, to make up for not being invited. But her gift is a chilling promise. On her 18th birthday, she says, Bonita will prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall asleep for 100 years.
And just as Mala turns to sweep out of the castle, another guest steps forward. This one looks completely different. She's an old woman, kind of looks like a beggar, with a wrinkled face and a crooked cane. But she's got this mischievous grin on her face, and she doesn't seem intimidated at all.
So you've got these two totally opposite gifts, right? Mala's was basically a prison sentence, a 100-year nap to get away from what she called the ill-mannered rabble. But this old woman, she steps up to the crib and she whispers her gift. I grant you the freedom to choose your own path.
The king and queen are understandably freaking out. They do the only thing they can think of. They issue a royal decree. Every single spinning wheel in the entire kingdom must be burned. See, Mala's magic has this nasty little side effect. It keeps them from ever being able to tell Bonita about the curse, so they try to get rid of the object itself.
So the years go by, and a few key moments really shape Bonita's path. There's a strange little encounter when she's 7, then a huge fight with her parents when she's 15, and all of it is leading, step by step, to that fateful 18th birthday.
Okay, let's jump forward to when Bonita is 7. She's trying to hide from her nanny because she does not want to take a nap. She wanders off into the woods and stumbles upon this little cottage. Inside, a kind woman named Ammani greets her with a cup of hot chocolate, almost like she was expecting her.
All right, fast forward another 8 years. Bonita is 15 now, and she's visiting a nearby kingdom. While she's there, she sees something she has literally never seen in her life. People weaving, using spinning wheels to turn wool into thread. And she is completely captivated by it.
She leans in to get a closer look at one of the spindles, just fascinated. And suddenly her father's voice just booms across the room with an anger she has never, ever heard from him before. Bonita, get away from there!
Bonita is just shocked and totally humiliated. She has no idea what she did wrong. Her dad is furious. Her mom is dragging her away, and she just loses it. She yells back, "Why are you treating me like a child? I'm 15 years old."
So angry and hurt and confused, she does what a lot of teenagers do. She runs. She storms out of the castle and into the woods. And then, just like when she was 7, she finds herself in a familiar clearing, right in front of Ammani's cottage, a place she hasn't seen in 8 years.
Bonita tells Ammani the whole story, but Ammani can't give her the answers she wants. Instead, she says something very interesting. She promises Bonita that when the time comes, the choice will be hers to make, and she trusts that Bonita will make a good one.
And that brings us right back to where we started. It's Bonita's 18th birthday party. She's exhausted, she's overwhelmed by all the people and the expectations for her future, and she just needs a minute. So she slips away from the crowd to go rest in her room.
Of course, she's not alone. Mala is in her room, standing next to a spinning wheel that's glowing with this weird magical light. And the fairy doesn't present the curse as a threat this time. Oh no. She presents it as a gift, a solution, 100 years of peaceful sleep to escape her parents, her duties, all of it.
So this is it, the moment of truth. Does she take the easy way out that Mala is offering, a century-long escape from all her problems? Or does she hold on to that other gift she was given, the freedom to face her own life, with all its struggles and all its messiness? She thinks about how tired she feels. And then, in this sudden flash of clarity, it all clicks. She finally understands her parents' weird, frantic fear all these years. She looks at Mala, then at the glowing wheel and says, "These struggles are mine, and I choose to keep them." Then she turns her back on the fairy, walks over to her bed, and decides to just take a nap, on her own terms. When she wakes up, Mala has vanished. The spinning wheel is still there, but the magical glow is gone. It's just a normal, ordinary spinning wheel. So Bonita sits down, carefully keeps her fingers away from the spindle, and she begins to spin. Her parents eventually burst into the room, frantic with worry, but they don't find a cursed princess. They find their daughter, calm and in control. She just tells them she met a fairy and took a nap. And as she sits there at the wheel, she makes one thing crystal clear to them and to herself. From now on, no one gets to spin the story of my life but me